Hey guys, what's up? It is Coach Callie V, and this is the Callie V podcast, Owning It. And today I am repping my friends and Fred at Wow Softball. Thank you for the shirt. I know, you're like, Callie, it's about time that you put it on. And you're right, you're not wrong. Hey, I should write a song. That was 3 words rhymed. Okay. That's not what this show is about. Today, I'm going to talk about something that I do not believe in, and it's going to be super controversial to a lot of people that still hang on to the old methods of training. So let's get into this. All right. This is why weekly pitching sessions are completely crushing your daughter. Here's the thing. The biggest thing that you need to realize is when you set up a schedule, and kids have so much to do these days. It is not like it was when I was growing up. I'm fixing to be 46. For those of you that know about the word fixin', you know I'm originally from the Midwest, so what's up? Anyways, I had to put that out there. But I totally got sidetracked because, so let me tell you this little story. When I was playing college softball, we had some boys from North Dakota that would always tease us. They were on the baseball team and they were like, how are girls fixing, not girls, but us girls, because we were the softball team. This is totally side part. This has nothing to do with the show. But I thought I would give you some context to the word fixing in case you've never heard it before. But they would say, how are you fixing to go to the bus? And we would look at them and say, I'm literally walking to the bus. So this is me fixing to go to the bus. So there you go. You guys are listening to a softball podcast, How to Own It, right? And you just learned a new word. Shout out to my dad, who always tells me, learn a new thing every day. There you go. Thank you. You're welcome. Okay, back to the moment. Okay, so the reason why weekly sessions is absolutely killing it for your kid is you are teaching them to show up one day a week. That's it. Okay. And here's the thing, parents, you two are super busy. So it's really hard for you guys to do what your parents did. Like, I know for me, my parents both worked full time, and this is my biological father. So when I do reference dad, I'm referencing my stepdad, okay? Just so you guys know, for those of you that listen to the show, you know my backstory, so don't get it twisted because my stepdad is amazing, okay? So my real dad worked full time, my mom worked full time, but they made time. Right? Their job was 45 minutes away. So the farm I grew up on was 45 minutes away from Wichita, okay? Anyways, they made time to play catch with us. There was grounders in the gravel driveway, which that never ended well. For me, pitching, it was pitching against the barn door that had 4 quarters drawn on it, and those were the targets. That was my quote-unquote bullpen station. Okay, but we had certain things to do. Well, parents, just like your kids are super busy, you're super busy. And just like your kids have a bazillion things wanting their attention, you have a bazillion things wanting your attention. Okay, I'm all for boundaries. Like, I have found people actually get upset with me because I will put my phone on do not disturb in the evenings, like usually around 8, and I'll wake up to bazillion voicemails or text messages, and it's like they feel like I'm ignoring them, but I'm like, it's called boundaries, and if you don't know how to set them in today's world, I'm sorry, but yeah, how can I help you? Okay, so that's a whole nother podcast episode. But the reason why weekly pitching sessions are crushing your daughter is because she is telling herself, oh, I only need to be prepared to work on this day. Right? And that one day when I work, I'm going to be able to carry that, even if it's 5 days later, to my next game. But it doesn't work like that. And yet we still have parents that buy into that broken system. And for those of you that don't know, I've created a mentorship program. It's not a membership. Huge difference between a membership and a mentorship. I do not have a membership anymore. I've literally got rid of that, 3 years ago. It was ridiculous. There was no accountability. There was no feedback. If people did ask me for feedback, I had to see if they were still in the membership, and it got kind of old really fast. And I started to see the kids that were in the mentorship program were actually getting really good results on all sides of the ball. So they were getting results mentally, emotionally, physically, even nutritionally, even spiritually, right? It was a very holistic approach. So I tossed the membership. I mean, this is the thing that I always reference when people ask me what the difference is between a mentorship and a membership. So a membership, you literally go to a search bar into your, you log in, you go to your search bar. Maybe you're wanting to correct your drag and you're like, drag drills. You're going to get 20 plus of whatever that coach has uploaded into the program. But there's no direction. It's just kind of like, oh, here's a drill. I'm going to have my kid do that. And what's crazy is I've actually talked to parents who still believe in weekly pitching sessions and have like 3 different memberships to 3 different programs. And they're like, well, I'm doing this drill and I'm doing this drill and I'm doing this drill, and I'm still not getting my kid to connect, right? I wonder why. Number 1, there's no feedback. Number 2, there's no accountability. Number 3, there is no community. I mean, sure, you might get a once a month call with everybody else who's there, but it's not like the mentorship program. See, my kiddos, my families that are in the program, their daughter actually trains with me one-on-one, and then she gets specific to her built individual drills, right? So it's not surface level. We're diving in deep. We're creating words to get her to understand. Like, I can't give it all away, because the whole point of this is I'm trying to get you guys to understand, if you want long-term success, you have to be willing, 1, to do something different, 2, to look for something that's actually going to be with your kid as she grows. At the end of the day, if you're upset because your 12U pitcher isn't throwing 60 miles per hour, you probably should step away and let your kid figure it out, because that's just way too much. That's how you crush them. Okay. And then they find me and they're like, man, I wish you were my pitching coach when I was 12. Well, what do you mean? Well, I was always pushed because I was 5'10" at 12. I was 6 foot at 12. So everybody thought I should be throwing a certain speed and throwing all these pitches, when in truth, I didn't even understand what I was doing. I had no confidence. They come to me so shattered, and that's where the mentorship puts them back together. But why are we waiting until they're shattered to come into the mentorship? Why don't we just get them into the mentorship and build them like solid foundation from the ground up? It works. I have girls that have came through who have joined the program in 5th grade, are still with me throughout 8th grade, going into high school. And you talk about their resiliency, it is spot on. The only time these kids ever have any, how would I say this, any shadows of lack of confidence, it typically stems from a conversation that they had no business hearing, like their parents are having, okay? Like, our daughter throws really slow. I don't think she's made to be a pitcher. When your kid hears that, or they pick up on the fact that you're talking like that, that is a shot to their heart. Okay? So basically, if you don't have anything nice to say, even about your own kid, you probably shouldn't say it. Okay? Because your kid's going to pick up on it. That's what they do. They figure it out. They see right through you. Secondly, where I see the lack of confidence is a coach will start to compare a pitcher on the team to other pitchers. You've been doing this X amount of time. You should be doing this by now. Really? But she's got a really good changeup. She actually has the best changeup out of your 4 pitchers. But you're going to say she should be throwing this fast as A, B, and C pitcher? How dare you? How dare you? Okay, so in the mentorship program, when the pitchers come to me and they tell me stuff like this, we walk through it, we process it, we talk about it, and they learn how to have a tough conversation. See, that's usually the problem is A, the parents don't want to have a tough conversation, and B, the kids don't want to have a tough conversation. So what they do is they usually play merry-go-round with pitching coaches. So they jump to another pitching coach, and it feels good. Like, for the first couple months, they're like, yes, this is so amazing. And then boom, they're going to hit adversity, because guess what's not happening? The construction, right? The constant feedback, the accountability, the, hey, I'm with you through the ebbs and flows, the peaks and valleys. We're going to do this. You're going to get through this, right? And then the second thing that usually happens after everything feels so good, is they start to realize, they're like, dang, the parents realize this. Man, I did not realize how much support I was getting in that mentorship. See, I don't just work with pitchers and mentorship programs. I literally mentor the parents as well. Yes, parents will be like, hey, do you have time to talk? Yes, let's talk. They'll email me. That's what I do. Okay, huge difference between a membership and a mentorship, okay? But this, again, feeds into why weekly pitching sessions don't work. See, when girls train with me, they have a whole schedule. They know their drills. They have dailies. They're small micro drills that, when they're done correctly over and over time, they stack up to the compound effect, creating a macro movement that shows up right on time. Stuff you can't force overnight, okay? Stuff you can't say, would you just do this in the middle of the game and expect it to show up? Absolutely insane. And if you're a parent and you're doing that to your kids, stop. That's not how we do it, okay? So when you subscribe, quote unquote, to weekly lessons. Okay, and this is my favorite. Like, my kid only responds to in-person sessions. That's cute. Because you know what COVID taught me, and I was literally doing this before COVID, was kids will learn no matter what. And right now, I don't know if you guys know this, but most of your kids are learning pretty much, I would say 95% of the stuff they're learning outside of your household and maybe in your household from a screen. Wow. And my favorite one is when people fill out the application and book a call with me. And they're like, oh my gosh, my kid like connected to your video on Instagram. Like, she totally understood what you said. And then when it comes down to their kid joining the mentorship, they're just like, well, she just doesn't think she's going to be able to learn through a screen. Hold the phone. Because I'm pretty sure you just told me in your free game plan call that the video that your daughter saw on Instagram like spoke to her, and like for the first time ever, she actually understood what she was doing and how to do it and what adjustment to make. Talk about putting your foot in your mouth, right? Like, I don't know what else to say. Like, here's the water, drink it. And you don't drink it, that's on you, okay? So, huge difference, right? Between weekly sessions in person. Because, guys, you're probably thinking like, who is this coach? If this is the first time you've ever heard me talk, one, you're like, this lady is excited about what she does. I am. Y'all, I've been doing this for almost 30 years. And it wasn't until 5 years ago did I go full time into being an elite, international, fast pitch pitching coach. This is what I do. Before that, I was doing this part-time from my senior year of high school, which was 1998, okay? I did it throughout my college career. I did it throughout almost dying in between my sophomore and junior year of college, finding out I had a genetic clotting disorder from a blood clot in my brain that almost killed me. I was literally D2 at the time, and I had to stop playing. I had to hang my cleats up and trade them out for turfs. And that was probably one of the hardest moments in my life. But I got through it. And I'm here. But during that time, I did part-time, on the side, pitching lessons. I was an ultrasound tech full-time for 17 years. So we're talking through marriage, through babies, through moves, through a full-time career in the medical field. And I decided, you know what, it's time. So just in case you're like, who is this lady? Why is she telling me that weekly lessons don't work? Because I used to do them, for starters. And I don't know about you, if you're an instructor and you're listening to this and you run your sessions weekly, one, you're probably getting super frustrated with the kids who aren't putting in the work like you expect them to do. But if you're not giving them feedback, accountability, and tasks throughout the middle, why would they get better, right? Two, you're probably getting frustrated with the kid who's not showing progress after all the work you're spending with them, especially away from your family, your kids. You could be that instructor right now who's literally spending 8 to 12 hours at a facility working around everybody else's schedule, and you're missing out on your life. Like, I didn't think it was possible to take my business to 95% remote. And I say 95 because there's 5% of clients locally that work with me every other week in small group training. Oh, I know, you're like, small group training, my kid needs one-on-one support. They get one-on-one support. They get it every other week in between. But here's the kicker. It's not in person. I just lost you. You just quit listening to me. You're like, screw that lady. No, it actually works. And where I find where it starts to impact people in a negative way, it's the kids that don't do the work. It's the kids who throw a fit because they don't want to do their program. So therefore they think, well, I'm one of Coach Callie's kids. I'm just going to show up to small group training and I'm just going to show up for my one-on-one session. And I'm not going to do anything in between. And they end up not accelerating through the program. And then they end up, their parents get frustrated because they're paying for it, right? They're paying for it and their kid's not doing the work. And then the parent starts to say, well, my kid's just not getting enough of you. Are you joking me? Is that even a phrase? I guess I meant to say, are you kidding me? Because the thing is your kid is getting me every single day. Your kid is choosing not to show up. And it's out of your control at that point because you think as a parent you can control your kid showing up for a weekly session. When in truth, 9 times out of 10, they show up crappy because you probably argued on the way to the session about their attitude. Maybe they just need a Snickers. Just feed your daughter. Like 99.9% of the time when they're in a bad mood, they are really just hungry. That's all it is. Give them food, okay? But you probably just argued with them. You probably just told them, you better show up and be respectful and get the work in because I'm paying for this. Wow. When was the last time you were excited when somebody put that on you as an adult? It doesn't matter if you're a kid or an adult. Nobody likes to hear that. So why are you doing it to your kid? Oh, let me guess. Because you're an adult and you're paying for it? Right. Get that. Totally. No. That does not give you the green light to set your kid up for a crappy session when a coach is trying to do something, trying to implement a positive mechanical movement in your kid. This is why weekly pitching sessions don't work. When I used to do it this way, I was lucky. Probably on average, maybe 2 out of the 4 sessions, I actually had pitchers locked in mentally. I mean, and it came with time, right? I had one child that I used to work with, but I refused to work with her because I heard her just verbally just cut her mother in half in the parking lot, and I thought somebody was dying. And when I got closer to it and I realized it was her screaming at her mom, that's when I said, you know what? We're done. I don't have to work with you anymore. It's one thing for you to talk to your mom like that, but the fact that I just saw that, like, absolutely absurd, insane, we're done, okay? But as I started to get the right people, things started clicking. And you want to know where it happened? It happened when I started implementing with my phone drills, feedback, drills, feedback. They would literally get a drill. They would give me the video back. I would give them feedback. Every now and then there would be progression within 7 days. And boom, you're able to move into a lesson ready to roll. Okay? So then I'm like, well, these kids don't need to work with me every single week, because they're starting to get everything. How do I implement that? Well, thanks to my buddy Alec at Connected Performance, I was able to go into a program and create it. Yeah. So I was able to create a system, a schedule, a place, a file room that they could upload their videos, and then I would go in, see it, receive it, give them the feedback they could watch next time they do their drills. It's like, boom, so much progress. And yet you're still stuck on paying somebody for weekly sessions. When I'm going to tell you right now, a lot of those weekly sessions are repeatos. They're the same session your kid did last week and the week before and the week before, but you're still paying for it. And you still buy in to weekly sessions in person are the best thing ever. Absolutely not. Even the coaches that have like the one D1 pitcher who like put them on the map, they'll tell you flat out they have a 2-year waiting list. They don't have a 2-year waiting list. They're usually retired, but because they have that one pitcher who went D1, they can pick and choose who they want to work with. And their first response, anytime you call them to get in with them, they're like, oh, I'm so busy. Here's my waiting list. And yet you still buy into that because they have that one pitcher. Maybe they have that 2 pitchers. Maybe they have 3 pitchers. But guys, I have been doing this for almost 30 years, and my pitchers that have went on to play college ball, they've taken something in the KVS mentorship program and they have taken it with them. Whether it's clarity to know what they want out of softball, whether it's knowing that, hey, I'm going to give up hitting and I'm just going to be a PO in college, whether it's knowing, hey, I'm going to go to JC for a couple years, maybe even a year because of the portal, and I'm going to go D1, D2. But they're coming through the program understanding what true clarity means. And yet parents are still hooked on weekly sessions in person are the best. And don't even get me started on the belief of, I only go to the pitching coach when I feel like there's a problem. Well, here's why that doesn't work. Last time I checked, your kid's constantly growing. So their body's constantly changing. So with that, again, going back to the mentorship, not a membership, the mentorship, having that process within your kids' training and development, it's going to go with them as they grow through it. There's a reason why college pitchers and professional pitchers only have so many lessons throughout their current season and off season. Okay. And if you look around, they are doing mechanical based sessions. I mean, just look at social media. Look at your Division I pitchers, your D2, whoever is posting that they're a pitcher in college or pro. And pay attention to what they're sharing. They're sharing mechanical drills because they're reminding you guys as the parent and you guys as the child that these are things that are never going to leave you. But yet you think that if your kid does a drill that they did, if they're 18 and they did a drill that they did when they were 12, this is insane, this pitching coach is terrible. It's not. These are foundational movements that are always going to be with their kid. It's going to grow. Okay. And then you get to see some of the bullpen snippets. But they're not like these crazy bullpens. They're literally locked and loaded bullpens to where they're efficient and effective on time. And you guys still buy in to weekly in-person sessions. I don't know what to tell you, but I really hope that this gets your attention, because number one, where I'm frustrated at in my mentorship program is like on my social media, like Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, like people want their daughter to be trained by me. And then when we go through it, they're just like, oh, well, I just don't know how that's going to work for my kid because she needs somebody in person and she needs weekly sessions because that's been working, because you're here now. You're obviously interested in what the mentorship is about. Or my favorite, they still have weekly lessons, but they're only getting in when their coach's schedule allows it. So you're literally teaching your kid, you're only gonna get work in when it's good for coach. But wait, hold on, I already know what you're thinking. Well, no, we still do work, we work at home. Okay, I get that. Okay, how do you know you're doing the correct work? Because when you go back to that lesson, when you finally get in with that coach and they're like, that's absolutely wrong, that is your proof that you need a mentorship program. You need somebody giving your daughter individualized drill work, accountability, feedback. She's going to get progress, consistency, and with all of that, she's going to build her confidence. Nobody likes going to a lesson when they feel like they've put all the effort in training, so they thought correctly, to be told everything you've done is absolutely wrong. And yet, you guys keep going back to them, because this is my favorite part, because they have the D1 ticket, because they have a player who is D1 and now they're playing pro. I don't know. And you still go back to them when your daughter is literally screaming for help in every way possible, in the most respectful way. This is not working for me. I do not understand this. I don't understand what this coach means when they're asking me to do this. Wow. But when I watch Callie V, I'm like, I get it. But then you learn about the mentorship and you cut back. You start talking yourself out of the opportunity. Well, I just don't know if she's going to be able to do this, or we have so much going on, or here in about 3 months, we're going to have to do this financially. Cool. I have multiple children too. Multiple children. And one's in college. He's actually right there playing baseball. One's in high school, plays baseball, who's going to be in college playing baseball. Okay, so I'm going to have 2 in college, because he still might play another year because he's got 1 more year of eligibility. So 2 in college, and I have a 3rd one at home. So what? Because my boys are doing their thing, my daughter gets the short end of the stick. She doesn't get to train with coaches I know who are going to build her up, who are going to be accessible, who are going to have expectations for her, who are going to give her feedback, accountability, and most importantly, consistency. I can't twist your arm. I can't make you drink the water. At the end of the day, I can educate you why. I don't believe in weekly in-person pitching sessions, let alone any session. My daughter has proved that through her training. Okay, literally decided the summer before her sophomore year, she was going to be done with pitching. She wanted to put that work into being a second baseman and being known for her hitting. And she does some left field. Huge confirmation for where my daughter's at mentally and emotionally. She gets it. Was she there physically? Not quite. But she spent all summer being uncomfortable, playing in huge tournaments at second base, right? Doing the things she needed to do, playing up on a team. She did it. Now she is the starting second baseman in a division. We're in the Premier Region. Starting second baseman. Okay, and she's doing it. She's literally leading with that. Now, who would I have been if I would have said, absolutely not, you're a pitcher, you're my daughter, you're going to be a pitcher, you have really good, she has great mechanics. Her speed was just coming along slower than what everybody said it should be. But that's the thing. Speed comes when it's supposed to come. It is a byproduct of mechanics. And good mechanics are a byproduct of growth spurts. Bad mechanics will happen when you're in the middle of a growth spurt. And that's why you need mentorship. You need to be able to grow through it, to go through it. It's called development. That's where everybody's dropping the ball on these pitchers. That's literally why you will see more pitchers quit pitching before their junior year of high school. And maybe they're good, right? But quote unquote, the world says they need to be faster, so they quit. They quit because they buy into that crap. And then they usually just quit softball altogether. But my daughter identified really quick. Being a pitcher is a different type of work ethic. at the end of the day. And she knew she didn't have the work ethic for it. She wanted to put that work ethic into being known as a hitter, being a starting second baseman, and educating herself on left field. So if she needed, outfield in general, if she needed to do what she needed to do for the team, she could do it, okay? Not just go pitch because they need a pitcher. That is bullcrap. And if you are subscribing to that from high school coaches, I am so sorry for you, because there's so much more into pitching than just being a pitcher who knows how to pitch and is going to do something for the team. That's manipulation on a coach's behalf. And I can't stand it. Can't stand it. And I will die on that hill saying that. I get it. High school teams having pitchers is few and far and in between. But when you put an athlete in a position like that, that's just dirty. Absolutely dirty. When they're not even trying to be recruited for pitching. They're trying to be recruited for second, third, I don't know, not pitching. I get it. They don't recruit from high school. I know. But why are you screwing up their recruitment process? What if you injure them? That's on you, broski. Okay. So anyways, you guys have learned a lot from this. You've learned a lot about me. You've learned what I stand for when it comes to pitching, what I don't believe in, and what I do believe in. Biggest thing I need you to take away from this is there is a huge difference from a membership to a mentorship. Huge difference. Membership, you log in, you look for a drill, you get 50, you still don't know what to do, but you pick one and you wonder why your daughter is still not transferring the quote unquote work she's doing to the game, to the field. But a mentorship, she's gonna get drills that are specifically designed for her to meet her exactly where she's at to get her to where she wants to be. She's gonna learn how to grow in order to go through her development. It's that simple. So if you made it this far to this podcast episode, make sure you apply. The link will be in the show notes to train with me, Coach Callie V, in the KBS mentorship. I look forward to talking to you guys and discovering more about what your daughter's goals are and how she can get there. Thanks guys for listening, and God bless.